Not what? I cannot hear you. So that probably is a problem on my end.
No, I can hear you.
Oh.
There was something weird with Sedato's audio somehow.
Wow, is that your view out the window, Chase?
Yeah, today I'm just giving everybody like a really relaxing. In SIG Azure, I was just playing like relaxing piano, new agey music for a lot of the meeting.
I actually, that view reminds me quite a bit of home.
Just a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't had a view like that in 20 years.
Yeah. It's been a decade for me.
Hey everyone, Keenan here. Sid's mic doesn't seem to be working, so yeah, I'm just gonna start for him, I suppose. Yeah, what do you want to start with? Just updates on what people have been doing? I'll go first. I don't really have any updates from this past week. I haven't been able to work on the AWS CSI plugin. Yeah. And actually, Walter, would you mind taking over from here? Not the meeting, the meeting.
Yeah, no. I figured. Sure. Yeah, so let's go around. So I got not a whole lot done. Was looking into a scaling problem with namespaces in Kubernetes, but I did get the first level of context change pushed. Anyone who is out of tree, I would please ask you take a look at that change. I don't think it's going to cause you any significant problems, but someone did point out that since you're out of tree, I couldn't fix the code for you, and it means that the cloud provider interface is fundamentally changing between 1.9 and 1.10, so please be aware of that. All right. Cole, do you have anything to update? Okay.
Well, actually, I guess I can say that I did not address the comments on the PR I had for the repo guidelines. I've been swamped this week. So I will try and do that by the end of this week. But going to SIG architecture, or having gone to SIG architecture, there doesn't seem to be any problem with that plan. We'll just need to, as we discussed previously, work out some criteria for what we're looking for in order to move out of tree providers into tree, or into some org. Sorry, but
Cool.
Nothing more to update there.
Thank you, Caleb.
Is my audio back? Can people hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. Keep going.
Yep. Cole, do you want to be next?
Sorry, I thought I'd already chimed in. I don't have anything to report. I'm just kind of following along.
Got it. Rob?
Nothing from me at this time. My one outstanding PR I haven't been able to get back to.
Jace?
Yeah, so we're on hold waiting for a repo. So that's sort of the next step. Basically, that's sort of our blocker at the moment. So I don't know where that's going to land. But yeah. The other one is I am creating a new initiative or an open source project that I would love some input on from everybody here. Good grief. Hang on. Cat, I'm finishing.
Sorry, I just wanted to say goodbye.
All right. Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry. Yeah, that's the way I roll around here. So Yeah, it's called the Open Cloud Region Metadata Service. And I'll paste a link in chat here. Right now, it's just an idea, but I have an idea about the implementation and what this is intended to do. But essentially, what I want to do is create an open source project that rolls up metadata to the region level so that we can do things like understand what managed services are available, what instance types. So for example, if you want to roll out a new function in a canary region in GKE or something, this would allow you to interactively query this API to get not only what services are available, but also drill down one level to determine what parameters are necessary to pass from a service connection standpoint in order to connect to it. So for example, like MySQL, you've obviously got a user credentials, but for example, in Azure, there's an extra parameter that you need to pass in terms of the subscription ID. There may be similar implementation details in Google and Amazon and whatnot. So the idea is simply that this allows us to have a level up view of what is available in any region and not actually is greater than the instance level. So if anybody's interested in helping me make this a reality, which is simply just let's write out a spec, let's come up with a standard for how we refer to open source projects that can be delivered as services like MySQL, Postgres, Redis, etc. And then just the simple conventions around the API, and then create a simple Go-based prototype. I think this is going to be a huge thing for all cloud providers, and could also help this effort move forward. So that's my PSA. So if you're interested in it, please send me a PM in Slack, and we'll talk it over.
Okay. Cool. Just quickly stepping back to where you began on the repos. Caleb, I think I seem to remember hearing that there was some talk about governance trying to change the requirements and the steps around how new repos were acquired.
Yeah, and I got some docs to follow up with from Aaron. Although I guess it seems to make more sense to land these in the Kubernetes org, and so I thought that the current process was just to socialize that a new repo was going to be created there, what it was for on the mailing list. Was that not your experience, Jace, or are you waiting for me to do that?
I could do it, but I would prefer somebody who is not me to do it, simply just because of accountability stake, since I'm the stakeholder on it. So yeah.
So the one thing I will say, Jason, the reason I bring it up is I was chatting with a couple of the folks on governance, and they came and asked me what the time frame was. Kind of, is it 1 week or could we wait a few? And I may have incorrectly said I didn't think it was a huge problem to wait a few weeks. And they said the governance said they prefer that because they're trying to put the new procedures into place for acquiring them. And my thing was, if we can get them in 4 weeks, I'm fine with that as long as we get them.
That's probably fine. I think that honestly, there's so many other things that are stymieing this right now I mean, the only thing that we have to worry about is what we're going to have to worry about anyway, is drift as more PRs get into it. But that's trivial. It's just racing. So.
Totally agree. I wanted to set appropriate expectations given the last I'd heard.
Yes, that's fine. As long as I can report back to SIG Azure and let everybody know, it's going to be 4 weeks. That's fine. Thanks.
Yep. Nick?
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Not too much to report this week. I just been working on the AWS CCM binary a bit, and I actually got approval to just start the implementation, and I created a repository under my personal GitHub account. So as soon as I have a working prototype, I will push it there, assuming we still don't have the community repos. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Cool. Prashima?
Hey, hi. I work on vSphere cloud provider for Kubernetes. I'm just listening in, so don't have anything much to report. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else? Do we have any agenda items?
Well, I have one thing to say, which is there was a bug in kops that was preventing the deployment of CCM using kops, which is required for running end-to-end tests. I got the time last week to fix that, and Caleb and there was another person named Mitra, I think. We were supposed to go over end-to-end tests that are missing and that are needed for the CCM. I started working on the doc, but there's a lot more to be done there.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you need from, I guess, from me and Mithras, who's not here?
I mean, it would be great if we could, like, there's a lot of tests that are already there, so it would be great if we could, like, split it up and really divide and conquer kind of thing, where you look at a part of the test, I look at another part of the test, and just to find what's missing and what's needed.
Sure, that sounds reasonable. Should probably be able to do that. Did the doc linked in the last week's meeting notes?
Yes, and I can paste it again here.
Okay, cool. I'll take a look at it then.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. The other thing, and I know I've probably been saying this for at least a week, but one of my goals for this week is to get a proposal out for a generic controller manager. So please expect that I will set, partly I'm putting pressure on myself, but please expect that I'll be sending out some sort of proposal for that this week. Cool. Anything else?
I don't see Daniel here. He was implementing the end-to-end tests. Other than that, I mean, if there's any updates on the repos, I guess we've already gone over them today. So that's pretty much it, I think.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all.